Howdy, yokes! Before we get started today, we just wanted to let you know that this episode of Bacon and Eggs is brought to you by you. We want to build this thing to be as big as it can be. More episodes, merchandise, events, giveaways, you name it, and we'll do it. You know, we'll do a pizza tour. We'll slap scorpions on things. We'll give you hats. I don't know. But we can't do it alone. If you enjoy this episode or really any of our episodes, head on over to our Patreon page at patreon.com/baconandeggs. Consider checking out some of the great reward tiers we've got set up there, or just making a donation of any kind. We want to keep this podcast free and available for everyone. So if you have a couple bucks to spare, anything really does go a long way. And we could really use your help to make the podcast the best that it can possibly be. So thank you so much for donating, and thank you even more for listening.
Howdy, yokes, and welcome back to Bacon and Eggs. I'm Tyler Carlin.
And I'm Tyler Carlin.
And I'm Ethan Edgehill.
And we've gone international.
Or maybe we're just on the back of a truck.
So reenact your favorite scene from a Flashdance.
Just Flashdance. Just Flashdance. The name of the movie.
Oh, is that it? So reenact your favorite scene from Flashdance.
And clean up the timeline a little.
Because today we're bringing you...
Deadpool 2.
What? Deadpool 2.
Yeah, no, Flashdance is the movie with the water and the dancing where he did it with the bullets.
Oh, is that what that's from?
Yeah.
I knew it was like a thing. I just didn't know what it was from.
It's a movie.
Anyway,
today
we're talking...
Yeah, here to talk about Deadpool 2.
Yeah, it was released on May 18th, 2018. That was just 5 days ago as of this recording. 7 days ago as of release, and however many days since the release of that you're listening to this. I see you, 2020. I'm watching you. I know you're out there. Anyway, this movie had a $110 million budget, which is that low? Or is that a lot?
That's fairly low these days.
For a movie we would cover?
Yeah, for like a superhero movie.
It made $125 million in its opening weekend, which is the second worst X-Men opening ever.
Yeah, it only beat The Wolverine, which was holy bad.
Yeah, that was the one where he like survives a nuke.
Yeah,
right?
In Japan.
Yeah, I couldn't even finish that one. I won't lie.
You did finish it. I sat right next to you.
I don't remember.
It took you 2 days, but you did finish it.
I remember being like, I think I'm going to be interested in Wolverine now. And I wasn't. It was bad. It was awful. But it's got a 83% critic rating on Rotten Tomatoes, 86% audience rating. That's 4 less audience than Deadpool 1, same critic, and a 66 on Metacritic, which is 1 point better than Deadpool 1. Real quick, Ethan, before we get into anything, and I'm sure you'll have to expand upon this, is this movie better than Deadpool 1?
Let me tell you, I thought really hard about this. It's been going over my mind, and, it's been a tough past couple of days. I've been preparing for this episode, been thinking about it, going back and forth in my mind, and the answer is a clear and obvious no.
No, it's not.
No,
it's not even close to as good as
close.
Deadpool 1. That movie was awesome. I've heard from a lot of folks that it doesn't age well, and for that reason, I will not rewatch it. I've only ever seen Deadpool 1 once, and I've only ever seen Deadpool 2 once.
Look, a lot of people thought that Deadpool 1 was pretty much the greatest superhero movie ever made. Those people are what we like to call wrong.
Yeah, no, they're totally wrong.
Deadpool 1 was alright. This is garbage.
It was so bad.
Normally we get to these things and I look at the Rotten Tomatoes score and I'm like, okay, I can kind of see it. On
right,
some of
I
these
can
movies
see where
don't
they're
like.
coming from.
This one I'm like, you gotta mark it lower. Like, whatever.
This is the only time I've ever looked at Rotten Tomatoes and been like, these scores are rigged.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, Rotten Tomatoes is stupid. I don't know why you guys use Rotten Tomatoes. It's obviously skewed. And I'm sitting here like, man, I don't know why we use Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes is obviously skewed.
But only for this movie do I really feel that way.
I don't know. I don't understand.
Here's the thing. Let's read some reviews from some professionals.
Let's get some positive and negative reviews in here from some people that know more about this than we do.
Yeah, so I just lost my positive review. Let me pull it back up.
I can go ahead and read positive.
Okay, you go first.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and read my negative review. This negative review is from Richard Brody from The New Yorker. He's also the guy that he's the sequel hater. He's the guy that hated Infinity War because you have to watch the other movies first. Sorry
about it. I've heard The New Yorker is not a super reputable review source, but they're the top critic of the top critics on Rotten Tomatoes more often than not.
Yeah, more often than not. So, he said, for all the impulsive flamboyance of Deadpool's patter, the liberating power of personal virtue, and the disinhibiting promise of second chances, Deadpool 2 feels narrowly impersonal and oppressively unfree.
That's brutal.
Yeah, that was rough. That was harsh. No, it wasn't. No, I changed my mind. I said it, and then I changed my mind. That was bang on.
I'll say this. So there is a positive review. Matthew Rosa of Salon.com, second review on Rotten Tomatoes for top critics. He says, just as Robert Downey Jr. has become the definitive Iron Man, Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool. It's the role he was born to play. And whenever he's on screen, the movie's inner classic shines forth. I've got a few thoughts on this. One, he's right about Robert Downey Jr. Totally Iron Man.
Yeah, totally Iron Man.
I'm with him there. Two, Ryan Reynolds is Van Wilder. That's the definitive Ryan Reynolds role. And I will accept arguments for other Ryan Reynolds roles. And I get it. He's all in on the Deadpool thing, and the marketing team has got him doing everything.
Hold on. Let me roll this one back for a second. I have to disagree with you here. Yes, Van Wilder is the definitive Ryan Reynolds, but this is a better sequel to Van Wilder than Van Wilder: The Rise of Taj.
Oh, I'll agree with that. Yeah, Dopender is more interesting than Taj.
Yeah, I love Kal Penn. Not his fault. We don't have to blame
Ryan
Kal Penn
Reynolds
for
is
that
also not in the sequel, is he?
No, he's not. I'm just saying this is a better sequel to this is a better spiritual sequel to Van Wilder than the actual Van Wilder sequel.
Yeah,
I think they made a bunch of them. They were like made for TV, and they probably all had Tara Reid in them.
She loves to do those made for TV movies.
It's because nobody wants her to do anything real because she's a terrible actress.
She's good in Van Wilder.
No, she wasn't.
No, I don't know.
No, she was not. Ryan Reynolds is good in Van Wilder. Ryan Reynolds is good in pretty much everything. This wasn't particularly Ryan Reynolds' fault. It might have been. It might have been. I want to see the script for this one. I really do. I want to see how much of this was Ryan Reynolds just thinking he's funnier than he is, and I want to see how much of it was like painfully scripted jokes.
My question is, like, why?
Why what?
I've got a question for you about your experience with this movie. When you went to the theater, what was the audience reaction to the movie? Was it generally positive, generally negative? I imagine you went during a busy showtime.
I did. Yeah, I went Friday evening.
Okay.
There aren't really any not busy showtimes where I'm at. I go to a theater, they're very small theaters.
Gotcha.
Like, they maybe hold 40 people.
That's tiny.
At most. I mean, it's the one we always went to.
Really? It only holds 40 people?
Those are really small theaters. And we were they have a couple big ones in the building, but those are for generally like 3D, like big,
right.
You know, the blockbusteriest of blockbusters. They're like $20 tickets.
Right.
The movie theater was dead silent.
Really?
Yeah. Like, there was a couple here and there moments where people were like, ha 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 ha. Other than that, it was just legitimately, I felt like I was watching it by myself.
That's so weird. My theater was quite loud. Like, people were giggling and laughing at the jokes.
People laughed more in Infinity War than in this movie.
Oh, I had a different experience. People definitely laughed more during this in my theater.
Well, I also saw Infinity War in an absolutely enormous theater full of people.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's talk a little bit real quick. We're going to do some spoiler-free review. We're going to do, 15, 20 minutes, something like that, of not giving away anything from the movie. We're just going to talk about what it is, what it did, why, how, bunch of that stuff. And then there'll be a swoop, and we'll get to some spoilers.
Okay. Let me pull up the cast list. Because
hang on.
I think that's...
Before you do that, I just want to say, like, I get that people like this movie. I knew that I was gonna say this before I even saw the ratings. Like, I get that people like this movie. I don't want to take it away from anybody. If this is what, and it's the same way, because I always felt like I was wrong about the first one because I didn't like the first one and everybody else did. But it's like, if you want to like this movie, I don't want to take it away from you. If it brings you joy in your life, like, go for it. It's not the worst thing ever made.
No, it's not.
And there's a lot of worse movies out there. And it pokes fun at a lot of worse movies out there. One in particular that I can think of.
No, it won't give it up.
What?
It won't give up making fun of other bad movies.
There's just one off the top of my head that is a notoriously bad movie that Deadpool 2 poked fun of.
Gotcha.
And it had a couple good moments. I got a couple good laughs out of it. I did. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I hated my experience watching it. I wasn't miserable. I did have to pay for it with actual money because my movie pass is broken. I finally had that happen where movie pass died. So I did have to pay for it with actual money, and I feel kind of slighted about that. But I did
not have to pay for it with real money.
Yeah, I wasn't miserable. Like, I didn't walk out of it. I didn't want to walk out of it at any point. It's just, it's not even that it was necessarily that bad. It was just, it was hyped up to be so much more.
And the pacing, for me, the pacing is what got me, is it was so incredibly slow that there was a line in the movie where they're like, well, if that happens, we won't have a third act. And, they're like breaking the fourth wall or whatever. And I was like, what, this isn't the third act? There's like another whole piece of this?
Yeah.
It was so
I know exactly what you're talking
slow.
About. This movie ended 8 times.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God, I don't care. And what gets me is, like, there was only one character introduced in this movie that I cared about, and she gets very little screen time and isn't Cable.
You talking about Domino?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, she was cool. She was a cool character. It was a different twist. She has a very interesting superpower that isn't something you normally see.
Yeah, they portrayed really well. That was one of the times where, he's breaking the fourth wall and he's like, it's really hard to show that cinemagraphically or whatever.
Yeah.
It's really hard to show that on film. And it came out really, really nice. I thought it was really cool. And it was just a cool thing to keep coming back to. Like, you were never worried about her character once they, like, proved to you what it was.
Right.
Which was neat because the rest of X-Force, what?
Oh, they were all useless.
Yeah.
I did kind of like TJ Miller in this movie.
I don't think you're allowed to say that.
Yeah, but you're not allowed. That's the thing, is like, you're not allowed to like TJ Miller anymore. Like,
yeah, but I did too.
But that's what I'm getting at. Is like, one of the shining moments of this movie, one of the redeeming moments of the movie is a movie you can't even, or is somebody you can't even like. Sorry, I was very distracted by the cast list for this movie.
Why?
Because
What
apparently
distracted you?
Brad Pitt plays Vanisher.
Yeah, you didn't catch that?
No.
Yeah, he like gets killed on screen.
No, I didn't catch who it was.
Yeah, it was Brad Pitt.
Huh, that's wild.
I'll tell you one thing. A lot of people are praising Julian Dennison, Russell, the kid.
Oh, he was annoying.
Yeah, people are saying he's absolutely hysterical. He was this great kid because he was in Hunt for the Wilder People, which is a Taika Waititi movie.
Yeah, I have not seen that movie.
Neither have I.
I've been
heard
told
it's
that
absolutely
I need to.
amazing. Yeah,
it's on my list. It's just not super like available.
Is it not?
It's last time I checked. It's saying it's rentable now. Last time I checked, it was not rentable on like
Gotcha.
Amazon. So it wasn't easy to just like get your hands on. And I'm not just gonna buy a movie that I haven't seen.
Gotcha. Now, as
ever.
far as introducing like a superhero or a super character who's overweight, I was so unimpressed with this character. I didn't think he was funny. I didn't think his motivations made much sense.
He didn't have any.
I was really tired of the pen joke they kept making.
Yeah.
Like they made it once and I was like, oh, that's funny. And then made it, I think, 3 more times.
Yeah.
And this movie does not understand how comedy works at all. The creators of this movie did not get the like, it comes in threes joke.
No. Like, there are a lot of comedians and a lot of movies that have done this expert thing of where you keep repeating the joke and make it funny. And this is not one of them.
It wasn't funny the first time.
It wasn't funny the first time. And they kept repeating it. But not only keep repeating it, they kept over-explaining it.
Right. They were like...
Every time. They're like, oh, he's got a pen up his
Yeah, it's like, I don't care. Also, I get that, like, Deadpool has to be vulgar. Deadpool has to be rated R for the gore, but I was underwhelmed by the gore and way overwhelmed by the vulgarity.
That's
like,
the character, though. That was the same way in the first movie. Is pointlessly vulgar.
Right, like, I get that he just swears all the time, and, like, I've read the comics. I just don't care about it, though. Like, to me, it doesn't make him any funnier. It doesn't add to the shock value. Like, one of the things that sells people on Deadpool is this super fun shock value where he's breaking the fourth wall. Oh, that's so shocking. And he's swearing in a comic book. That's so shocking. And
I'm sorry. The fourth wall thing isn't cute anymore.
It's annoying. It's
just annoying. Like, I got it in the first movie. It was funny a couple times in the first movie. The first time I did it in this movie, I was like, are we still on this?
Yeah. It's so annoying. I was also under the impression that his girlfriend was dead. I don't know why I thought that. Is that not how the first one
I thought it
ended?
was too, but I didn't. I've seen the movie. I've also seen the first one once, and I will probably never watch it again.
Yeah, I have no desire to revisit this franchise.
Yeah, no. That is the thing I wanted to tell you before we started this, though. Josh Brolin has signed on to play Cable in 4 more Deadpool movies. More.
Oh, no.
Not including this one.
Oh, God. Here's my thing, is they're going to have to, it's going to be a problem for Josh Brolin if this merger goes through, right?
Yeah, because he's Thanos?
Yeah, so he's Thanos. He's way better as Thanos, by the way, in case you were curious.
Oh, Cable's a crap character.
Cable is a crap character because he's got this whole, like,
it was just
Terminator
short jokes
thing.
the whole time.
Is that the joke?
Yeah, that Josh Brolin is shorter than Ryan Reynolds.
I didn't catch that. I just didn't care. But like Josh Brolin has been posting on Instagram for the past 2 years all these workouts he's been doing to become Cable and become huge. And he was huge. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah,
he was a
5'10".
very big dude. No, not tall.
No, I know. I'm filling that gap in. The first thing you search when you search Josh Brolin is Josh Brolin height.
5'10" is also not that short.
No, it's not, but it's short for Cable.
Is it? How tall is Cable supposed to be?
Cable's supposed to be enormous, like Colossus sized.
Oh.
That's what the movie implied. Also, Ryan Reynolds is 6'2".
Dang.
Yeah.
He's so handsome.
So this is what I don't get about these movies. Is like Ryan Reynolds is purportedly one of the hottest men alive, right? People keep saying this, like Ryan Reynolds is a sex symbol, and yet he's just an ugly in these movies.
Oh, I don't think they do enough to make him ugly in these movies. I'll be honest with you.
I mean, I agree with that, but it's just he's scarred and broken, and he spends 90% of his time in a mask.
Yeah, I'm surprised that he's down to do that. I think that was one of the things holding him back from this role for so long was that he doesn't get to do the Ryan Reynolds sex appeal thing. But even in this movie, they put Ryan Reynolds' face in there.
Yeah, at the very end.
Yeah. Well, not even just at the very end. There's 2 parts at the very end.
Yeah.
Where Ryan Reynolds is there.
Yeah.
And that was good. I was happy because there's no way Ryan Reynolds is going to make an entire movie without showcasing his best asset.
Right. Well, I mean, and don't get me wrong. I'm Team Ryan Reynolds. I love Ryan Reynolds.
Me too. The Proposal is great.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of great movies. Waiting was a great movie. There's one, I can never remember the name of it, that was absolutely hysterical. Because he just plays this sarcastic jack all the time.
Just you know what he was in that was...
Just Friends.
Oh, that's a good one.
That movie's hysterical, where he's like this fat dude that gets hot after high school.
Yeah, and he gets he rents the Miata in the summer, or in the winter
and he's just
in Wisconsin.
A huge
Yeah. You know what else he's in? He was in that really cool, like Mindbender movie, Buried. I don't know if you ever saw that one.
I
It's
have
about a
not
guy
seen it.
It's like one shot. You'd love
Yeah,
it.
I have not
And it's like
seen
from
it.
inside a
No,
coffin.
I would not love it at all. That's like my number one fear.
Being buried alive?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just something that bothers me. Like, and he was Paperman, or no, he was in Paperman. I don't remember what he played. He was Captain Excellent in Paperman.
I have no idea what Paperman is.
It's a strange movie. It's not very good, but he's good in it. At which that's a lot of Ryan Reynolds movies like that. Because Green Lantern wasn't his fault.
Green Lantern, I remember not hating. Like, maybe it was really bad. I don't know. I couldn't tell you, if I'm honest.
It's like Fantastic Four bad.
Like Fantastic.
They're all bad. All three of the Fantastic Four movies have been terrible.
The original Fantastic Four movie is not as bad.
It was bad.
As Fantastic.
It was bad.
I'm sure it was.
But it came out like a month before Captain America: The First Avenger, and it just wasn't that great. So it kind of got washed up because of that.
Yeah. Too bad. Too bad.
But it wasn't particularly his fault.
There's a lot of weird special effects problems, and I think that there's a way to do Green Lantern on film. I just don't think DC has their act together at all to be doing that. But here's the thing: is DC found out, like, Marvel picked Iron Man for their franchise to spearhead it, who was like a B-list Marvel superhero, and then like, DC always goes for Batman or Superman. Like, those are your heavy hitters, man. You need to come out first with like a cyborg origin story, or like you did on network television, and start with the Green Arrow and then introduce the Flash.
Yeah, but then you get a different Flash for the movies.
Oh, it's just stupid.
Yeah,
because Barry Allen from the TV show, while a terrible person, is a good actor. Like, he's a good role. It does it well. Granted, I love Ezra Miller also, so it's a toss up for me. But because I'm not crazy about the television show for the Flash, but I do love Arrow.
Yeah, I mean, it's DC does not have the capability right now to do a good Green Lantern movie, or really any good movie. To tell you the truth,
I mean, what they could do is they could make a good. I would be okay with this if they made a good new attempt at the extended universe thing. They start out with a good Green Arrow movie, and then they make like an okay Green Lantern movie. Although I think Green Lantern's more of the Thor. What do you think? Because he's got like the other world and like all that stuff.
Yeah, I could see that. I don't know. That's a tough one. Let's get some listener questions involved in this real quick. I know we had a couple of those.
Yeah. So if you want to ask us questions, sometimes we'll post it in the Facebook group, but we'll always post it in our Discord, which is available on patreon.com/baconandeggs for just $5 a month. And it's a super awesome community. You totally love it. This first question comes from Dr. KT. She is a eucologist. She's got her Bachelor of Arts and her Doctorate of Dental Sciences or Surgery?
Yeah, Doctorate of Dental Surgery.
Doctorate of Dental Surgery, all but her dissertation. And she asks, it's a silly question, but what's your go-to movie snack and drink combo? Ethan, because I think I talked about it last week. If not, I must remind you, I'm doing CrossFit, so I'm not allowed to eat movie snacks or drinks. But when I did popcorn and Dr. Pepper.
So I don't like popcorn that much.
I'm a huge popcorn fan.
I especially don't want to pay for movie theater popcorn, which is like, I think, the single most overpriced food article like ever.
Might be.
I think there's like a statistic on that like one like wholesale movie theater jug of popcorn costs like 45 cents.
And then to buy it costs like $14.50.
And then to buy like 0.5% of that is like like $10. So I don't really pay for movie theater popcorn. I do have a really bad habit of sneaking stuff into movie theaters.
Yeah.
It like of just like drinks and snacks and stuff. A lot of times I'll go to see these, especially these movies that we're watching for the show. I'll go to see on like a work night, like late, whatever time I can get a showing, like 10, 11 o'clock. And especially with movie passes, like I've just adopted the mentality of just going to a movie kind of whenever the urge strikes.
Right.
So a lot of times I'll sneak in like energy drinks or something like that just to kind of help keep me awake. Because with premium theaters and with the comfy recliners, I have a tendency to kind of fall asleep sometimes.
Oh, I've been there.
Like I'm just super comfy and there's like just a big loud noise just generally playing and I'm just kind of like, sleepy time.
Yeah, I've been there.
So I'll sometimes sneak an energy drink or just generally like alcohol.
Yeah, what's your, I know when I lived where you live, I always got the same beer for the movie. I would go and get a craft beer beforehand at the bar, because there was a bar in the lobby, as you know.
Yes.
But the listener doesn't know. Is that still got the same name, same menu, same owners?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's a good bar.
Yeah, Neo.
Yeah, man, that's a good bar. I would get craft beer there, but then I would always get the same beer to bring into the movie. Do you do that? What's your process if you're going to go sit at the bar?
If I'm going to go sit at the bar, bar, yeah, I'll get something then, and I'll bring a couple in. That's if I really want to like spend money and go to the movies, which I generally don't anymore.
Right.
Honestly, especially like going with my girlfriend, because I'm either I'm buying for 2 people or she's buying for 2 people, or like whatever's going on that time. And it's just like I just generally go and grab something at 7-Eleven these days and then just bring it in. This time before Deadpool 2, I had a 25-ounce strawberryta.
What?
Yeah, it's like the most alcohol you can get in a can without drinking a Four Loko.
I didn't know that. Is that like a thing that people tell
No,
you?
I mean, it's not the most. It's like 8%, whereas all the other alternatives are like 5%. And they're all terrible, so you might as well get one that'll do more. Since they're all the same price
terrible.
and they all suck.
That's true. It would be weird carrying a 40 a High Life.
Like Twisted Tea and stuff. Oh, I've done it.
I have not.
I've done it. One time we just threw a bunch of bottles, like of whatever we had in the fridge, in Katie's purse.
Nice.
And just brought like a whole 6-pack.
Nice.
And a bottle opener.
Do they not care? Do they not check?
They don't check your bag.
No, but they don't go into the theater and check, like, oh, that person's got a can they brought with them.
I have yet to have anybody say anything.
All right.
I don't know what I would do if they did.
But they probably just ask you to leave.
Yeah, but like, would I get banned? I would fight that.
I don't know.
If they asked me to leave, I'd be like, okay, whatever, fine. I just won't do it again, and then totally do it again. But if they like tried to ban me, like I would fight that.
I bet you could get banned and still come back anyway, and they wouldn't know.
I mean, probably. It's not like there's like because you know there are people that are banned from the theater. Like,
right.
There's not. It's not like there's a wanted list.
Like, definitely bringing a beer into the theater would not be the worst thing I've ever done in the movie theater.
Yeah. These days, it definitely would, though, because, like, now that I'm paying for movies with my own money, especially when I'm double paying for a movie because MoviePass takes money out of my account the day before I go see a movie and then doesn't work.
That would be frustrating.
I'm a little frustrated. I'm not going to lie to you. If the problem is not resolved by when I have to see Solo, I'm going to flip my lid.
Yeah, good luck getting in touch with MoviePass about that.
Oh, the problem that I'm having can only be resolved on the phone, and I called them in the theater 46 times while I was trying to buy a ticket. Because every time I got a message that said, we're experiencing higher than normal call volume. Please call back later.
Probably because it was the night of the Deadpool release.
Yeah, I mean... And a lot of people are having this problem where it just logs you out and then won't let you log back in.
Well, that's no good. That's not a good problem to have.
Not a good problem to have.
Anyway, my go-to beer, since you never asked, I would bring like a Shock Top or a Blue Moon into the theater because I wouldn't want something too heavy, reliably good, but I would drink like the heaviest craft beer they have in the lobby before the movie.
I'm pretty sure you used to bring Bold Rock.
Oh, we did Bold Rock too, but I specifically remember the orange in my Shock Top.
I got a fair few Larry's Lemonades before movies back when we were doing that.
You just got to get something light, reliably good. And if you went to the bar, not the bar, but like the concession stand and bought like a beer to bring in,
they gave you a smaller beer for more money.
Yeah, it was awful. It was like, and they would even tell you, they'd be like, you really want to go over to the bar and buy the beer.
Yeah, they would be very honest with you about it.
Yeah. We do have another listener question. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Another listener question coming from Le Chevalier. Chevalier. You want to say it?
Le Chevalier Noir.
He says, have you been to a dine-in theater? If so, do you think that enhances or detracts from the movie experience? This is sort of related to the previous question. I've never been to a theater where you order and eat in the room.
I have.
Where the movie's playing.
I have. And let me tell you, if you're going to a movie with my boy Hunter Wells from back in the day, every theater was a dine-in theater.
Like he would leave the theater to go get his food?
No. He would just like bring like meals into the theater.
Yeah,
like inside of his jacket.
Yeah.
Like I remember he went to McDonald's
McDoubles
one time and he would just buy a bunch of McDoubles and he just kept pulling them out of his jacket pocket as he needed them.
That's what I would do. You could buy 7 McDoubles for what it costs for a medium popcorn.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember one time I was at the movie with my friend. We were seeing Thor Ragnarok. One of the many times I saw that in theaters. I think it was like 5.
God, I love that movie.
Because I got it right when I got MoviePass. Like it was out right when I got MoviePass.
And that was when you could see the same
movie
movie twice.
Same movie twice. So I literally went like 5 times.
So good.
Like I saw it with like each different member of my band and my girlfriend.
Classic.
But I was with somebody and I just whipped out one of those giant like grande sized Monster Energies, like the big can, like the 32-ounce can or whatever it is.
Yeah, with like the resealable
with
top.
the resealable lid, and just like cracked it open, and it makes it like a thunk noise whenever you do it. And he just looked at me and like does a double take, like looks back and goes, what the And I was like, what? He goes, where did you get that? I was like, it was in my pocket. Put it in my hoodie pocket.
Where's yours?
Yeah, if you walk confidently enough, you can do pretty much anything.
It's true.
But yeah, I've been to a dine-in theater, and it's awesome.
Does it detract from the
Not
movie
at
watching
all.
experience? Really?
So they make sure everything, like, you get there ahead of time, generally. So they're not, like, at this one I go to, or I've been to, they're not, like, walking in during the movie.
Okay.
It's like everything's delivered right before previews end.
Okay.
Like, they've got it down to a science.
Because I'm always picturing, like, a waiter in there while Breakfast at Tiffany's is on the screen, and it's almost more restaurant than theater.
I mean, there are ones like that. There are definitely ones like that. But this is this was a Cinebistro, and now they just bought out the franchise, I guess, and renamed it. So it's just like the Peninsula Movie Bistro, but it is like a Cinebistro, which is like a national chain that does this. So they know there's a system in place.
Gotcha. I've never been. I'd be curious to go. Is the food good?
Yeah, I mean, it's like it was pretty much like Neo, but they just brought the food to you.
Oh, is it real expensive?
Not particularly. I mean, it was like $8 or $9 burger.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, it was like normal food price. So it was like you could sit in the lobby and drink the beer, which is what we did because we didn't realize what the deal was. You could sit in the lobby and drink the beer, and then we were walking back, and they're like, hey, do you want to order food? We're about to cut off, inside orders. And so we just ordered at the counter, and they brought us the food.
So there's not a waiter that comes into the theater and talks
No,
to
there
you?
is. You just have to get there earlier.
Oh, okay.
So we walked in last minute, right as previews were about to start, because we're like, we're not gonna sit in there while whatever her name is from whatever talks about cinema on screen or whatever it is.
Pop culture,
right?
From the lens of what movie theaters think is pop culture.
Right. It's like, let's show 35 seconds of a music video and then talk about it.
Yeah, don't do that. Trivia, weirdly bad trivia is what you get before the previews.
I don't think it takes anything away from the movie whatsoever. I really like it. I think it's a process that, or not a process. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. It's something I enjoy. I don't want to see it go away. I have no problems with it.
I mean, the more ways we can get people into movie theaters and seeing movies in theaters on big screens with audiences, I think the better. I think that it is a better experience than watching it on your iPad.
Right. And I mean, you're seeing more and more these premium theaters pop up, whether it's just recliners or whether it's bars and recliners or whether it's, whole full service restaurants. A lot of them are popping up. There's only one normal theater left in my area compared to 4 or 5 premium theaters.
And the normal theater is not any cheaper, is it?
No. The only advantage for one of those is it's a lot easier to go with a group because you don't have to reserve seats. You just go sit down.
Right. Right. But that, if you reserve far enough ahead of time, the reserved seats could be a plus.
No, for sure. But it's then if you want to go with a group of 8 people, you have to buy them all together. You collect money together.
Yeah, I hear you.
There's something missing from the process of reserving movie theater seats. Fandango doesn't provide a good enough service for them to charge me what they charge me to use it.
No, Fandango's service is not worth my time at all.
Right, and that's what I'm saying is the Fandango service fee is like $2 a ticket.
Yeah, it's insane.
And so I think that theaters need to just start offering that option themselves, online where you can just buy the tickets ahead of time because there doesn't need to be a convenience fee for that. I don't even talk to a person at the theater. I use a kiosk.
You do?
Yeah, we always did at Paragon.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. We did. Yep.
They have better kiosks now, but they always, and AMCs are going the same way. More and more theaters are going the same way, where it's you don't really have to talk to a person unless you want to. And I get it. There's no need. Those people can be better served
as far
elsewhere.
As
far as buying tickets, the only time I ever go talk to a person is when I'm trying to buy a movie ticket without MoviePass, and I need to use my student ID.
Because I've
been graduated from college for over 3 years now, and I still use my student ID, and I don't feel the least bit bad about it.
The college you live near recently changed their student ID.
Yeah, and I'm kind of pissed off a little bit, to tell you the truth, because shortly it's going to stop working.
Do you think the people at the movie theater know? I guess they're students.
Yeah, they pretty much all go there.
Yeah.
I had somebody the last time I did it was like, oh, that's an old ID. And I was like, yeah, I just never bothered to get it updated from my freshman year.
Were they like, I'm a senior too? They're like, I'm a 6th year. Yeah. Whatever. Give me my ticket.
I was like, yeah, this ID is definitely not from 2011.
Right. Forever ago.
Yeah. But yeah, so more of these premium theaters are popping up everywhere. They're starting to become more and more common in most areas except where you live.
There's one in Blacksburg.
That's ridiculous. That's insane.
It's true. It's true. It's a Cinnable.
Those are both smaller cities than Roanoke, and Roanoke should have one. I'm amazed they don't.
I am too. I'm really hoping we get one. I know that AMC just bought out.
Yeah, I'm surprised AMC is not.
Carmike.
I'm surprised AMC has not ripped that Carmike behind Tanglewood apart yet.
I would be so happy if they did. When I went last time, I met a listener of the show. I met 2 listeners of the show that work there, and I was like, "What?"
I saw Star Wars: The Last Jedi there, and that place sucks.
Yeah. The chairs are very small.
I saw. What else did I see?
I saw Deadpool there.
I saw Infinity War at a theater that didn't have recliners either. The chairs didn't recline at all, and I was just like, I feel like I'm living in the 1800s.
Isn't that the theater we're going to for?
It is for the
Incredibles
Super
2?
Carlin Brothers meetup.
Yeah,
it's awful.
That's gonna be exciting.
It's awful. It's an awful theater.
Really?
The screen was gigantic.
My favorite theater doesn't have reclining chairs.
Your favorite theater's wrong. You like that theater for the wrong reasons.
I don't like it for the chairs.
Yeah, but the fact that you like it is the wrong reasons.
Well, I like it for the cheap popcorn, and it's the same quality popcorn, but it's like $2.
As it should be.
Right?
But like to me, I don't know. I get the argument that you're making for the older theaters, and I just don't buy it. I've seen movies at the Grandin. It's just, I don't know.
Oh, I love.
I get the argument that you're making. I do. I understand it, but like I don't know. There's no point. Like get with the times.
I mean, I agree, but we're not going to rip out the classic theater and put in recliners. It's just not going to happen.
No, I know that, but like I'm just surprised it's still in business.
I think it's protected.
Okay, that doesn't mean it has to be in business.
That's true. But
I mean, I guess they probably don't have to pay rent.
Yeah, I think they're probably operating at a loss anyway.
Yeah.
It is never busy when I go for anything.
Yeah, I've been there a couple times, and I think I've been the only person in the theater, like the people I was with.
Right.
Every time.
Yeah, it is never busy. There was like 10 people there when I saw
Granted,
Ready Player One.
I saw Star Wars The Last Jedi the day after it opened at that AMC that used to be at Carmike, and there were 5 people in the theater.
It's because I actually don't know why. I couldn't tell you why people didn't flood the theater for Last Jedi the same way they did for The Force Awakens. Because
they did, though.
It didn't do as well at the box office.
It got very close.
Did it?
Yeah.
I would
at
not
least
be
like
surprised
opening weekend.
I will not be surprised if a week from today we are talking about the Solo opening weekend as being lackluster.
Oh, I will not be surprised at all. People don't like Solo. That's already a thing.
I have positive
Based
feelings.
on what John Negroni said about it today, I think I'm going to love it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to really like it.
Because everything he said is everything I feel about Han Solo. So speaking of lackluster openings, well, give me a swoop, Tyler. I need a swoop. All right, when did you know that Deadpool 2 was going to be bad? I'll tell you when I knew it was going to be bad is when they started putting Deadpool all over every movie cover in Best Buy.
You didn't like that? I thought it was
cool. I liked it, but no other movie has to do that. If your movie was good, you wouldn't have to do that.
I think what bugged me about that was that
smelled of desperation to me, very strong.
Yeah, like the marketing team went just a step too far, and that's like the Deadpool joke is to take it way too far. But I felt like there was like a line they were supposed to cross, and they crossed it, and they took it all the way to the end of the volleyball court and crossed the line again.
Yeah, I think that you're absolutely right. They just served this one out of bounds completely. It was funny. It was cool. It was like some of the best marketing I've seen in a while, but like there's a reason movie marketing is the way it is. If you have a superhero movie, if it was good, you wouldn't have to make desperate measures.
Right. And like it's cool that they did the guerrilla marketing thing and that it was everywhere. And I know we just said that, but like I got tired of it before the movie even started. I was like, oh my God. Like the story from Deadpool 1 was not memorable enough that I even care what this movie is about. And I'm really interested in Josh Brolin because he was Thanos. So if you can give me more of him, I'll probably get more excited about this movie.
So that's...
That being said, I didn't like Cable at all.
That's how I felt about Deadpool 1, to tell you the truth, is because that's when I used to use like Reddit and Imgur a lot, and that part of the internet was freaking out about Deadpool for entirely too long.
Yeah, because they were all about, like the Deadpool cosplay thing.
Right.
Where like you get to dress up as Deadpool and just be rude to people in public spaces.
Deadpool 1 came out in, Valentine's Day of 16?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I started seeing stuff for Deadpool, like, Thanksgiving 14.
Yeah, when the test footage was leaked.
Right, and it was everybody for a year and over a year, for like 18 months, was just sitting there going, this is going to be the greatest movie ever. And it just wasn't. It was legitimately, in my mind, the most overhyped movie to ever be released. Like, ever.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
And this one was 14% as good as that one.
Yeah, the story was just like...
What story?
So, I know. Like, the gotta save the kid thing. Like, why? Because your heart's not in the right place? Is that it? Because you let your girlfriend die?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Okay, there was no discernible story to follow in this movie. Like, the beginning, he wants to get back home to Vanessa, and then Vanessa dies, and then he gets all depressed, and then he's got to save the kid, but then he wants to die, but then the kid hates him, and then the kid releases Juggernaut, and then he's got to save the kid again, but then he actually dies, but then doesn't die, and then unkills Vanessa.
Yeah, so like Vanessa's death was like
meaningless.
Like every
entirely
consequence that happened was meaningless. Like this whole movie, nothing moves forward because of this movie. Like we're back to square one.
Yeah, absolutely nothing moves forward.
Which is frustrating. I guess now there's Cable and Julian Dennison as part of the crew.
And Russell. Cable and Russell.
Russell and Domino.
Yeah.
But like
the whole X-Force dying was stupid.
Yeah, like don't waste so much marketing time and so much movie time introducing all of these characters.
Right, of getting Terry Crews and apparently Brad Pitt.
Yeah, Brad Pitt. Matt Damon was in there too. Did you catch that?
No, I did not.
He was the farmer.
What farmer?
Alan Tudyk was one of the farmers, right?
What farmers?
Where it's just a screen of Alan Tudyk explaining why like single ply is the superior toilet paper.
that was Alan Tudyk and Matt Damon.
And Matt Damon was the other farmer.
I did not catch that. The guys that Cable just kills.
No, it was Alan Tudyk though, right?
Yeah,
I'm remembering that correctly. Yeah.
You are. It is Alan Tudyk.
Yeah. Matt Damon was the other one.
What? I did not catch that.
Yeah.
All right, so there were...
Apparently it was like...
Oh, go ahead.
There was a ton of cameos like that, but I didn't care. Like I do not care. When it was in Thor Ragnarok, and I hesitated mentioning Thor Ragnarok because I feel like it's a disservice to compare these two.
If you look at the IMDb page right now, and I don't know if it's showing the same thing on your screen, but I'm looking at the IMDb page, and immediately under the cover for Deadpool 2 is just a giant video of Korg.
Is it really?
Yeah, go look.
Oh, look at
it's that. It's just a giant video of Korg.
Because I guess Julian Dennison is the connection.
Yeah,
there.
it's like Deadpool 2 stars choose their MCU teammates, and they're both from New Zealand. So
yeah, well, here's the thing: so like Thor Ragnarok is a masterpiece.
The best thing about Deadpool 2 is Korg,
right?
Is what you're telling me, IMDb.
But here's the thing: is like Deadpool 2 is a sequel from a pretty interesting character that like literally revamped the comic book world, got like a whole nother generation of people interested in comics, and that's cool. People like Deadpool's comics and they do the whole thing at the Comic Cons and I hate it, but it's cool, like whatever, do your thing. She's like don't come up to me while you're dressed as Deadpool and pretend that you're cool. You're
right
not.
Like don't just come up to me and be a
right, like I will have a problem with it
because like Wade is not Wade is not a mean person.
Right, he's like a annoying reactionary person.
Right, like, he's not mean. He's super nice to Yukio. Like,
hi Yukio.
Yeah, like he's not a mean person, and people portray Deadpool as just being this huge, like awful guy.
Right,
and he's not. So like you're wrong there. I don't know. This movie was satisfying to me in some aspects, and this is
I will say like I did audibly laugh at parts.
Yeah, a couple times. When they made the when he made the joke when he was coming home late and he was like, I was fighting another Cape Jack. His mom's name was also Martha. I laughed.
I laughed at that.
I laughed. But yeah, I laughed at the whole intro sequence, like all the little funny quips about like directed by. Did you seriously just kill her? Produced by. Like what the hell, man?
Yeah, that was
and
good.
The whole thing is done like a James Bond intro.
Yeah. And it's got the original Celine Dion song.
Right. Yeah. Like that was funny. The whole like thing about what was he saying? The whole thing about Cable being so dark he's from the DC universe and then making the dubstep jokes. Like I liked that anytime they just pooed on DC.
I did, but I was also like, okay, I get it. Like you're also not the MCU. You don't get to just crap all over DC.
Right.
You have something to prove as well. Like it's not like your last string of movies has been extremely good.
Right. And like I'm done finding the whole like, oh, the studio can't afford any more X-Men jokes. Funny.
Yeah, it was funny the first time, and then this time it's like, okay, we're just gonna move forward with Colossus and Negasonic Teenage Warhead, and that's gonna be okay. Like nobody's gonna complain about that.
Right. Except they had that one moment with Beast in there.
Well, it was the whole crew, James McAvoy and the dude from Never Back Down, and
was it all of them?
They were all yeah.
Yeah, and he was he had the wheelchair and he was wearing the thing on his head.
I didn't think that was funny. I was like, okay, I get it. I'm unclear. Is this in the same continuity as the rest of the X-Men movies? Okay, that was not made clear to me until you just said yes.
I mean, that's what I got from this movie. I did not get that from the first one.
Yeah, that's what I got from this.
But I got
one.
that
the
from
the first one. I was like,
but apparently, like we're like this does exist in the X-Men timeline.
The X-Men timeline is so messed up. They did Days of Future Past. It's all reset.
Yeah, well, this one's messed up too. He has a time control device.
Yeah, they keep introducing this problem way too early. I'm looking at the poster for this movie, and it's got Cable as like the big bad in the back in the center. He's just screen time is lackluster.
Well, he's not even the enemy.
Yeah, he's also not the enemy. He ends up being like,
and like all of X-Force is in this.
This is a cool poster though. I love that they painted the poster very Back to the Future of them, and
it's
I'm about
weird
that.
Color. It's just like light blue.
Yeah.
But no, the poster does look like an old action movie.
Yeah, I'm
it
about
does look
the
cool,
poster.
and like just the jetpack is there, or not the jetpack, just the parachute is there for Vanisher.
I didn't think the Vanisher thing was funny. I think that's an annoying trope.
I mean, I agree with that, but like I just like that it's the continuity exists in the poster. But like that's the thing about this movie is the best parts of this movie were that other movies had some like inaccuracies that you can poke fun of.
Right. I want to talk about the end credit scene because I remember reading tweets and stuff about this movie going into it. It wasn't spoiled for me, but I knew it was supposed to be like absolutely insane.
Well, so the end credit scene where he undoes the whole movie or the other ones?
The ones where he goes back and he kills like Weapon X and he kills
Wade from
Ryan
Wolverine
Reynolds.
Origins, and he kills Ryan Reynolds sitting in front of a Green Lantern script.
I thought it was so stupid.
I laughed.
I did not.
When he
I was
comes
like,
and he
okay,
pops
I
up
get
and
it.
shoots Ryan Reynolds in the face while he's watching or reading the Green Lantern script. I laughed. I will admit, I laughed out loud.
I'm ready to move on from Ryan Reynolds poking fun at his other two superhero roles. I'm done with. I was much more interested in the subtle Van Wilder reference in this movie.
I didn't catch that.
Yes, you did. It's like the first song where they're playing the Air Supply.
You keep talking
song.
about Air Supply, dude. I don't remember that from Van Wilder. Stop hammering that.
Oh, I'll refresh you on the scene. He's like in his dorm room because he lives in a dorm 7 years into college, and he's playing that song by Air Supply. And
The I'm All Out of Love song. Is that who does that?
Yeah.
I don't know that.
Girl walks in and she's like, "Oh, that's a good song. What's it called?" And he was like, "Gwen broke my heart and ran over it with a big metaphorical truck," originally performed by Air Supply. You don't remember that
I
scene?
do now, but I didn't. You just kept talking about Air Supply, and I was just gonna let you do it.
Yeah, but that was like, to me, that was way more funny Deadpool or Ryan Reynolds not than any of the like, "Oh, you sucked in Green Lantern." Like, okay, we get it. You didn't like Green Lantern. Oh, Weapon X was stupid. Okay, let's stop talking
Weapon
about
X
it then.
was stupid.
Weapon X
That was a bad
stupid.
movie.
I'll agree. But like
I love Hugh Jackman as Wolverine as much as the next fella. I loved those first X-Men movies. I really did. But that Origins movie was bad. Bad all around.
X-Men Origins is bad. So was all of the Wolverine movies until Logan. And I don't know why they were like, let's just keep making these, man. Let's just
Well, there was only those two.
keep
and then
going.
Logan.
I thought there was 3. I thought there was like X-Men Origins Wolverine, the Wolverine, and I thought there was another one. I remember when X-Men Origins came out, I was like, oh, are they gonna do these for like every character?
Yeah, I
That's
thought
gonna
they
be
did.
so cool.
I thought they were going to, but I think that one did so poorly that they just stopped.
They were like, you know what? Let's scrap that.
Yeah,
That would have been a cool way to introduce James McAvoy as what's his butt?
as Xavier.
Yeah.
I don't know. First Class sucked. Disney Future Past sucked more. I didn't see Apocalypse. Stop on my timeline.
Yeah, this movie.
I really liked the first X-Men movies. They could have just been left alone forever.
I don't think they could have.
They need to be just come up with a new idea. Somebody make a new
Just start the
movie.
X-Men over. Yeah, I thought that's what Deadpool was. I thought that was like, okay, Apocalypse happened. That was the last one, the last X-Men.
And no,
title,
what it is
right?
just it's Sony being bitter that A, their Spider-Man movies keep flopping, and B, they don't have rights to anything else. And the MCU is doing so well, they're just like, hey, over here, guys, we're gonna make some movies, man. It's gonna be great. I
mean, how
promise.
would you feel if you started a cinematic universe in 2000 or whenever X-Men 1 came out, and it was pretty successful, and it's still going?
They ended it though, like they ended it well. They killed it on purpose.
Right, but like, how would you feel if you started the cinematic universe thing, and then everybody was like, I mean, really, since Disney and Marvel, I guess Paramount was the one that started it with Marvel, but like, since that happened, I mean, that's a new standard in filmmaking.
Last Stand came out,
franchise filmmaking.
Last Stand came out in 2006, which is the last X-Men movie. Then they made Origins, Wolverine Origins. So, dude, I don't know. I don't understand where they're coming from. Sony needs to give it, and I guess they will give it up now that this is, I think, the last thing that they owned.
No, they're gonna have the rest of the X-Force, aren't they?
What do you mean?
Here's my thing. Do you know how?
Well, no, because Disney owns them now. Disney bought Sony Fox.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know Sony and Fox were the same thing.
Yeah, it's like this. Whatever studio made these movies.
Gotcha. I'll say that. Do you know how, like in the comics, even if you don't read them, but you know how in the comics there's like a Deadpool and Spider-Man relationship?
Vaguely.
Are you familiar that they like often appear together?
Yeah, I thought Deadpool was like anti-Spider-Man for a while.
Okay. I am in no way thrilled for the idea that Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool will be on screen with Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
I don't think he will.
I would be so mad.
I don't think he will. I really don't. I don't think that Kevin Feige is going to allow that.
I can't see it like going well at all.
Yeah, no. Tom Holland's Spider-Man is way too pure to hang out with Deadpool. It's not going to happen.
We might have to grade this movie because we've been pretty harsh on it. I want to communicate that I did laugh. It was,
I don't know.
Like, watchable.
I felt pretty satisfied by this movie in the sense that, like, when they announced it, I was like, why in God's name is Deadpool getting a sequel? And I was right. Like, it did not
totally
deserve a sequel.
Yeah.
Like, if this is the best you can do, they did not deserve a sequel.
This wasn't as good as Logan, as far as rated R.
No, not even close.
Superhero movies go. This is about kick quality.
Nah, this was worse than Kick.
You like kick?
Kick is better than this. Kick had style.
Nick Cage.
Well, that's not even why. It had that X factor.
This had the X-Force.
For 5 minutes.
Did you think the Peter joke was funny? Maybe this is my issue. Maybe this is why I don't get it. And why movie isn't for me. But this movie is for me. This is like the geeky comic book person makes a movie for young adults that's ultra vulgar and gory. It wasn't better than Watchmen, as long as we're ranking it with rated R.
It was more watchable than Watchmen.
Yeah, Watchmen's so hard to watch. But like the Peter joke for me wasn't funny in the previews, and then I was like, I guess maybe people get something about it I don't get. And I saw it in the movie, and I was like, this is still not even a little bit funny.
But Peter's just like a regular guy.
Yeah. Like, I don't care.
He's just like, yeah, I just applied. I figured it'd be cool. I don't know. I don't really get it. I don't really get it either.
It wasn't like as meta and cool as it thought it was.
No, not at all.
Yeah, the whole X-Force thing was a total disappointment for me.
Yeah,
I do love Josh Brolin. He kept slipping into his little Thanos voice, and I was like, man, Infinity War was so good.
Yeah, Cable just wasn't cool, though.
Yeah, I wasn't like, now that is a cool person.
It's like, he wasn't even the villain, man. There was no villain.
Yeah, it was like Julian's desire to kill the
Right, there's no like tangible villain.
Toucher. Yeah.
Which is dumb. Like, they turned it into this weird
movie.
buddy cop thing between Cable and Deadpool.
That's like good cop, bad cop. Also, the thing about Deadpool that bugs me is that like the whole maximum effort thing where he's giving minimum effort and he just keeps having fatal injuries and they don't matter because he doesn't die.
Well, that's a superpower.
I get that. But it's like, I'm way more interested in the times where you're doing very cool acrobatics and being an excellent shot and stuff like that. Like, it's stupid that you just keep doing things that will kill you. That's just a recurring joke. It's not a superpower.
Well, that's all this movie is. It's just a recurring joke.
It's true. Do you like his suit? I think his suit's cool.
Deadpool's suit? Not particularly.
Yeah.
He's got the weird, like, head thing, and his eyes look weird, and I don't know.
Here's my thing with the suit that gets me is there's no reason for Ryan Reynolds to be in it.
What do you mean?
Like, he doesn't have to be the one that's in the suit.
I mean, he does.
Obviously, why?
Because why wouldn't he be?
Because you could just get a stunt double to do it for way cheaper than having Ryan Reynolds on set.
It doesn't seem like this movie cost that much.
No, it doesn't. It seemed pretty inexpensive for having two huge names like Ryan Reynolds and Josh Brolin. Although I guess those are the only huge names.
Yeah, everybody else is kind of nobody. So I think they played that where they wanted to play it. Like,
yeah. Do you think Ryan Reynolds is a bigger deal than Chris Hemsworth?
Probably.
Let's see what their scores are.
What does that even mean?
Ryan Reynolds is like their ranking. Ryan Reynolds is 10 on the star meter. Let's see where Chris Hemsworth falls. 40. Ooh.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, Ryan Reynolds has been around a lot longer and been in more things, and he's like
That's
one
true.
of the sex symbols.
Yeah, like he's the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely more famous than all of the Chris's. Chris Pine is just top 500.
That's surprising, since Chris Pine
is in a lot of good stuff.
But I mean, like, he did the Star Trek movies. Like, those were like his movies.
Yeah, Kirk.
Yeah. I guess Chris Pratt's been in a bunch of stuff recently.
He's in the Lego movie. He's Parks and Rec. He's in Jurassic World. He's Peter Quill.
Yeah. But he's like, he's still like, even in the movies that he's a star in, he's still just kind of like a bit character.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
Like Owen.
I mean,
Owen
not in the
from
Lego movie.
Jurassic World movies is very not that great of a character.
Yeah, but Emmett Brickowski.
The special.
The special.
I loved a Lego movie. I'm so excited there's a sequel.
Did you see the Lego Ninjago movie? No, me neither.
I just saw. I also didn't see Lego Batman.
I did, and people hyped it up like it was the best thing ever.
Was it good?
Meh.
It wasn't good.
Nah. I mean, you should see it. Like,
I mean, it's Will Arnett. Like, I do love Will Arnett. I love Will Arnett as Batman in the Lego movie. Like,
it's not just Will Arnett; it's also Michael Cera as Robin.
God, that sounds awesome. Actually, Zach Galifianakis is the Joker.
Yep.
That sounds awesome.
Jenny Slate as Harley Quinn, which is weird because they could have gotten the girl that always voices Harley Quinn. I'm sure she was available.
Yeah, but they didn't because anime doesn't matter.
Jason
Fun
Mantzoukas.
fact. Who is Jason Mantzoukas?
He's
Oh, he's Rafi.
Yeah, he's Rafi from the League.
Conan O'Brien is the Riddler. Gee, why haven't I seen Billy D. Williams as Two-Face? How is this not good? Voldemort as Alfred Pennyworth.
People love this movie.
I gotta watch this movie, man. There's no way this movie isn't good. I refuse to believe that. Like, the Lego movie was so good. The Lego movie was like the most pure thing ever.
Yeah, it was so happy and good. It was about, I mean, it was, once you zoomed out a little bit, it was a little shady. It was about like big business being the problem, but it was made by big business.
Oh, so it's Wall-E.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody's got to communicate that message.
Yeah, I mean, I loved the Lego movie. I saw it like 3 times, I'll be honest with you. It was just a good...
I've definitely seen it 3 times.
I saw it 3 times in theaters.
Oh.
It was a romp, man. It was just fun. It's a fun movie.
Oh, you know who's in the Lego movie? As Wild Style, Elizabeth Banks. What do you think?
Underrated actress.
I agree.
Love her.
I totally agree.
Love her.
Yeah.
Oh, she was one
What
of
do
the
you
best
think
parts of the fucking Hunger Games movies. Effie Trinket, she was great.
You think
so?
so?
Yeah.
What's that new movie? Not with her, but the there's a new The Spy Who Slept With Me movie or something. The Spy Who Dumped Me. Have you seen the previews for this? It's not Jenny Slate, but it's that other girl that looks kind of like her, Kate McKinnon, and Mila Kunis. It looks hilarious, but it also looks like it might totally flop, and like I'm prepared for that. But it's about these 2 girls who were just totally not qualified to be in like a spy situation, doing all sorts of spy stuff.
So
it's
like
funny.
Spy.
Yeah.
Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah, kind of like Spy, but it's not Melissa McCarthy, but it's Mila Kunis and Kate McKinnon, who I think both are hilarious. So
I loved Spy. Don't get me wrong.
You loved
With
Spy?
Melissa McCarthy? That movie's hilarious.
What do you think of most of the Melissa
I
McCarthy
hate them.
movies? Okay,
With
I'm
a
glad to
passion
hear
that
that.
they're so dumb. It's
glad
just
to
it's
hear
literally
that.
just Melissa McCarthy's fat. Let's make jokes about that for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And yeah, Spy was hilarious. Granted, Spy was hilarious mostly because of like the other characters, like Jason Statham.
Oh yeah, that was the one
Jason
where
Statham
like
being like Mr. Super Spy. That was like all in.
yeah, that's got Jude Law.
I do love Jude Law.
And I love Jude Law just in general.
Yeah, Jude Law is in the new Fantastic Beasts movie as Dumbledore.
Young Dumbledore.
Yeah. He's in the new Sherlock Holmes movie.
I'm so excited they're making another one of those. I didn't think
I
they
loved
would.
those movies.
Yeah, I mean they're okay at best.
I still love them.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, Jude Law's been in a bunch of good stuff. He's in Gattaca, underrated movie.
People pretty highly rate
they?
Gattaca. Maybe underseen.
Yeah,
movie.
I was gonna say underseen movie for sure.
Is Dr. Dolittle a character? I'm jumping all over. You got me going through a hole. Is Dr. Dolittle a character that is not Eddie Murphy?
Yeah.
It was like previous to Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, it was books.
Okay, and he doesn't have to be black
Correct.
because Robert Downey Jr. is Dr. Dolittle.
Yeah, it'll be a much more true adaptation to the book.
Are the books any good?
I don't know. I've never read it.
Tom Holland's
read
in it.
them. Yeah, they're children's books about he can talk to animals. I mean, it's like the movie, but it's not just. It's much more serious, as far as I know.
Gotcha. Can't believe the title for the next Avengers movie still is not released.
Why?
It's less than a year away.
So this is good. This is good news. This is the correct direction.
Yeah, to not know.
Yeah, I don't even want to. I
mean, here's the thing.
literally don't even want a trailer for the next Avengers movie. I do not want to
No,
see a
neither do
trailer.
I. Because that'll reveal something. There will be spoilers
I
in
don't
the trailer.
want there to be a trailer. I don't want to know. I don't want to know the title until I'm in there. Like I see the title card and it's like Avengers blank.
And you're like, oh man.
No, what is it gonna be? There's the Infinite. It's gonna be called
Infinity
Infinite
Gauntlet?
Avengers or whatever.
There's a bunch of different options. It might
That's
be.
the predominant theory right now.
I've heard a bunch of theories, but I don't know.
Because there's something about
Like on one hand,
I don't know. There's something about like the I and the A stick around longer at the end. I don't know.
I read a lot of theories, and I shouldn't.
Yeah. So what else do we need to say about Deadpool?
I mean, honestly, I just like. Here's the thing. I laughed while I was watching it. There were moments that were good. The gore pulled its punches, and the vulgarity went too far. And I get that, like I'll be criticized for saying that anything in Deadpool went too far because that's the whole point.
Yeah, but the character's stupid is the thing. It's like I hate the character.
Yeah, I'm not about it at all.
I never was. I never liked the idea of the fourth wall thing. I never liked the idea of like, oh, he's just a jerk. Like he's an awful role model as a superhero, which is like the whole point of superheroes.
I think the original point was propaganda.
Whatever. You're supposed to look up to them. You're supposed to want to be them. Nobody should want to be Deadpool.
Correct, but he's the one everyone wants to be. Because, edgy teenagers are like, oh my gosh, there's a best-selling character that's, vulgar and interesting, just like me. But he's not interesting. He's just vulgar and rude.
Yeah, he's just awful.
Yeah. So
And
that's
he
that problem.
calls Cable Thanos in the movie.
Yeah, they had to. There's no way they could have
Yeah,
gotten
but
away
that's
with
so
not doing
stupid.
That. Oh, that was a moment where I was like, thank you for addressing it.
No, I didn't want that.
Really?
Yeah.
Was there a character you did like? I like Domino.
Yeah, Domino was cool. Her whole mechanic of like, I'm the superhero who's just lucky, and he's like, what? Well, luck's not a superpower, and he's so mad about it.
But it is.
And then it is like stuff just keeps working for her. Like she doesn't have to do anything.
Yeah, like everything just works out. Like she doesn't even have to think about it. Like it's already happening the way that she wants it to. That was an interesting thing.
Jesus Christ, they went through a whole list of people to play Cable before they landed on Josh Brolin.
I would have landed on Josh. I thought he was perfectly cast.
Apparently, they went through Dolph Lundgren, Mel Gibson, Kurt Russell, Bruce Willis, Alec Baldwin, Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Stephen Lang, Ron Perlman, Pierce Brosnan, David Harbour, and Brad Pitt.
No, Manu Bennett.
Who?
Manu Bennett. He did Deathstroke, and he was you know him. He's in a thing that you've seen. He was in The Marine. He was in The Hobbit.
I have never seen this person.
Oh, you'd recognize him. He's got a great accent.
I've never seen this person. Who's Deathstroke?
He's the character that Slade Wilson. He's the character Deadpool's named after from the DC universe.
Okay. What is he in?
He's in Arrow, and he's the main villain in Teen Titans as well.
Yeah, no idea.
Although I think in Teen Titans they just call him Slade.
Yeah, I've never seen this guy in anything.
Well, he's really good as Deathstroke in Arrow.
Okay.
And he would have made a good Thanos because he's freaking jacked. But he is short.
Good Cable, not Thanos.
Not Thanos. No, he'll make terrible Thanos. He's too short.
Yeah. I'm just reading through the trivia real quick to see if there's anything cool. Michael Shannon was also considered for Cable.
Who?
Michael Shannon.
Who's that?
General Zod.
I don't like that guy.
I like that guy.
At least I didn't like that role.
I like that guy.
He was in The Shape of Water. And the rest of these movies I've never heard. Tale as old as two.
Okay, so I just read the whole IMDb trivia for this movie, and there's not even anything cool in there.
Really? You'd think that would be full of interesting stuff.
Except for, like, somebody apparently died during the production.
Oh,
Yep.
that's
Some
sad.
stunt woman. You would think that they would get that right, since the director of this movie is, like, a stunt guy.
I think that's part of the risk.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if there's any movie that's ever going to get it right,
It's Deadpool.
it's a movie directed specifically by a guy whose only credits are being a stunt guy.
That showed.
Yeah.
What do you think of the stunts in general? Do you think they were good?
I never really noticed any of them. Tell you the
Yeah,
truth.
I felt like they pulled their punches.
They pulled their punches on everything in this movie. The jokes, the gore, everything. The whole story.
I wanted, like, people were talking about it like it was the goriest movie ever made. And
It's not even
wasn't.
the goriest movie this director has directed, which he also directed John Wick. And that was like the only other thing he's ever directed.
Yeah, they make a joke about it at the beginning.
No. This movie's a pile of crap.
Yeah, I didn't like it
get
at all.
it.
Well, I did like it. Like, when I was watching it, I liked it. I have no desire to see it again. Typically, when you and I do a brand new movie, we'll watch it twice before we review it. And I was like, I am not going back to the theater.
So what I noticed is, like, I did not see this Thursday night. I saw it Friday night, right? And a lot of people on my timeline on Twitter were sitting there going, man, I'm going to see Deadpool tonight. And you were going to see it that night, and a bunch of people on our Discord were going to see that night. And Friday, man, nobody said a word about it. Nobody.
I thought you had seen it, and we just weren't talking about it.
No, I didn't see it till Friday. Like literally, I saw one person, and that was John Negroni, talking about the movie, and that told me that it was terrible. Because like so many people were so excited, and then nobody could bother to say anything. Like when you didn't text me at all, when you were like silent, and then I texted you the next day, I was like, okay, I'm going to see Deadpool. Did it suck? And you were like, just noticed that I haven't said anything yet. And I was like, I noticed.
Yeah, because usually I'll text you in a superhero movie before the post-credits scene.
Yeah, that's when I texted you and was just like, oh
Yeah.
man, that was so bad.
It was just so, like, blah.
Meh.
You remember the Emoji Movie?
I did not see it. I don't know why you've seen it.
Me neither. I
You
haven't.
keep talking about it like you've seen it.
Well, he was a meh emoji. That's just how I feel
Gotcha.
right now.
TJ Miller was in that movie.
Yeah, he was. What was he? Was he the poop? No.
He starred in it, right?
Yeah. Can't like TJ Miller. I missed TJ Miller being a bad person, so I was watching this movie. I was like, oh, Weasel, what a funny character. Turns out that's not the. You can't think that anymore
now.
He's Gene. Whoever Gene.
Yeah, it tells me nothing.
was. I know. You'd think that would help me out some.
You think they'd just be named whatever emoji they are?
Were they not?
What?
Were they not named the emoji they are?
I mean, Gene is not an emoji.
Okay, it looks like he was the meh emoji.
That just like, I just made a face. This is really great podcasting. I literally just made a face and was like, yeah, you can see this, right?
I mean, I can. I think that he was the lead. That's
He's the
my
first build
understanding.
person, which apparently doesn't mean anything anymore, as on IMDb, Ryan Reynolds is the fourth build person in Deadpool 2.
He might have been. Maybe he was like, screw it, I just want to be in it.
I think they want you to think that about Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, I think he's making his money. Man, you know who's handsome?
Who?
Hugh Jackman.
Huge jacked man.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman is a good looking guy. Was that a
argue
new
with that
scene
one.
for this movie?
I don't think so. Although, one thing that always throws me off about Hugh Jackman is they did like the old man Logan thing. He's not that old.
What are you talking about?
I guess he's Hugh Jackman.
What old man Logan thing?
Like Logan, he was like old.
I haven't seen Logan.
Oh, missing out.
Yeah. I haven't gotten around to it.
He's 1968. That was 50 years ago, right?
Yeah.
He's not that old. And if you see The Greatest Showman, he looks super young. Like,
I haven't seen The Greatest Showman either.
you're missing out. You're missing out on a lot of good Jackman flicks.
The Greatest Showman is
Well-
purportedly not a good Jackman movie.
No, it's not. But it's a good. The music is not bad.
I've listened to the music. It doesn't make me want to watch the movie.
No.
No, not particularly.
Well, does he look old as Jean Valjean?
Yes.
He does.
I believe so.
His known for credits are almost all X-Men. I wouldn't have thought that. I would have thought
Well, he's been in a bunch of
Those
these
would have been
movies, X-Men movies.
That's
and
true,
he was
he
in Les
has.
Miserables.
he was. It is either Valjean or Javert.
Gene Valjean. And a lot of people hated him in that
My
movie.
Jean
A
Valjean.
lot of people hated him in that movie.
Yeah, because he's got a weird singing
Yeah.
voice.
And that was the movie where they did the whole thing, where they were like, we're going to capture live singing for this musical. And it just was weird. And it just sounded weird.
It didn't go as
Did not
planned.
go as planned. Literally the only person in the whole movie that like properly pulled it off was Sacha Baron Cohen.
That was a sweet scene. That was all entirely.
But everybody else, it like did not capture the fact that these people could sing.
Right.
They were all just kind of like,
cool. Yeah, it didn't feel like they were giving it their all.
which you could see they were, but you couldn't hear they were.
Right.
Which there's a reason movie musicals are made the way they are. Just let them sing it and then let them lip sync it. It's not hard.
It's also not like nobody's upset about it.
Right. It's like we're used to this.
Right.
Or, sometimes maybe you should let somebody act it and somebody else sing it. They used to do that a lot, and then they just stopped doing that.
Yeah, you can't do that anymore.
No.
They even did that in the Disney ones where like Jonathan Taylor Thomas voiced Simba, but somebody else sang
Yeah, no, it
Simba.
died, I believe, with Phantom of the Opera, where they let Gerard Butler sing and act, and it was terrible.
I like the film version.
Yeah, but
of that.
Gerard
I mean, it's
Butler
obviously not as good.
Cannot sing.
Neither can Hugh Jackman.
He can sing a lot better than friggin' Gerard Butler.
You know who should have been in a Gerard that could have been in that? Gerard Waycat. He's the dude from
Gerard Way from My Chemical Romance.
Yeah.
He was like 17 when Phantom of the
Yeah,
Opera
but he
came
would have
out.
been great as the Phantom.
He would have been great as a Phantom.
He still would. I'm about it.
Oh, man.
Their high school productions of Phantom of the Opera for some reason. Sure, it would have been fine.
Because Phantom of the Opera is all high voices.
Is that why?
Much. It's also
Christine
super.
does that.
It's also super famous.
It is.
It's like
Soup's fame.
The musical. It was until Hamilton came out. It was the musical.
What are your thoughts on Hamilton? Have we talked about it on the pod? You don't want to. You don't want to.
Because I haven't seen it.
You don't want to reveal.
I have not seen
Hamilton.
it either. I probably never will. I don't want to.
It looks very stressful to get tickets.
It is. But I mean, you can see like a touring production. Like it's coming through Norfolk and Richmond for like 20 days each. Like you can just see it. It's not that hard anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if I can get tickets. That sounds like fun.
I mean, they're still gonna be like Broadway ticket expensive. Like they still cost money, but they don't have to be. They're not gonna be like. It's not like a lottery.
Tickets and info.
They're doing like a full tour of Hamilton.
DC June 12th. The performances begin June 12th. I see. They'll be doing them. It looks like for 15 days. Get tickets. What do they cost? $99 to $625. Oh my god!
Yeah, it's like a huge deal show in a giant city. I would wait until it comes to Richmond.
That's so expensive. Yeah. That's at the Kennedy Center.
Yeah, I would wait until it comes to Richmond.
Oh my god, that's just people on a stage singing. Not even not even the original cast.
Probably better, honestly.
I wasn't crazy about
that's the whole reason I don't like Hamilton is because that cast album is terrible.
Yeah,
it's really awkward.
Maybe if I see it, I'll be like, this is actually quite good. This is really quite interesting.
I don't know, maybe it's entirely possible. I don't know. Just let Kanye West be Hamilton, please.
Does he want to be?
No, just like somebody that can actually rap. I don't care who it is.
Austin Scott is Alexander Hamilton right now.
I remember I did one of those.
I don't know who
it was like one of those like Facebook things that people posted that was like, find out your actual theater name. You just take your middle name and the name of the street you live on. And my middle name is Alexander, and I was living on Hamilton Drive at that point. And so like my theater name was Alexander Hamilton, like my stage name. And I was just like, I literally posted on Facebook. I was like, you cannot actually make this shit up.
I mean, mine isn't too bad. It's alliterative, but that's as far as I'm going to go. I'm not going to reveal what street
I don't live there anymore.
Yeah.
My new stage name would be awful.
I don't know the name of your street, so I couldn't.
I live on Coral Key Place.
I could work Alexander Coral Key.
I get 3 names. That'd be strong. 3 names are strong.
Yeah.
Like Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Man's a legend. He's making a comeback this year. You just wait.
The kid from Home Improvement?
Yeah. Simba. Let's see if he's got any good projects coming up this year. If that's a recent picture, still looks the same.
I don't think it is.
Looks like he is still on Last Man Standing, which has been renewed. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, I'm not happy.
Really?
Yeah, it was terrible.
I
have a really hard time letting people enjoy bad TV. Like, I do. I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of a about television. I don't understand why anybody watches any show on any major network.
What are your thoughts on The Big Bang Theory?
Like, you could be better. Like, people keep getting into these shows. Like, there was a bunch of people that were, the other day, that were like, oh my god, if Fox doesn't renew Timeless, they're literally the worst company ever in existence. I'm like, what in the actual is Timeless? Right, it's like, your time would be better served going back and watching through Breaking Bad if you haven't done it. Or any of those TV shows.
I've never heard of this show.
Go watch all of Friends. It's on Netflix. Go watch all of How I Met Your Mother. Go watch all of Lost. Go watch all of Scrubs. They're all available. They're great TV shows. They've stuck around for a reason.
So you don't think...
I literally do not think there is any
You don't think there'll
reason.
never be another one?
I do not think there's any reason to watch any show on any network. ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, any of them. I have a hard time letting people enjoy bad TV. And I'm an asshole about it. I admit it.
You are.
Like, it just drives me insane. People get so worked up over these TV shows that are just terrible.
How do you watch The Bachelor?
I don't watch The Bachelor. I don't waste my time with This Is Us. Like,
those are both good shows.
I watched one episode of This Is Us. It was so mundane.
Oh, it's so emotional. It's the stupidest thing
That's
ever.
what I'm saying, though. I don't know. I don't get it. Watch something on even the shows for a long time. They had a great run of like shows on USA. They were awesome. Shows on like TNT. The
what you mean like Burn Notice?
No, like I mean yeah, people liked Burn Notice.
Oh god, that show sucked.
But like Suits was hilarious. What was it? Royal Pains was hilarious.
Oh, I didn't like Royal Pains. If you like Royal Pains, you're
No,
stupid.
Royal Pains is better than like anything that's been on NBC for the last like long time. I'm sure there's a couple that I'm wrong about and that I'm missing out on entirely, but like I don't want to sift through the garbage to try to find them. That and I'm just not watching TV week by week anymore.
Yeah, that's the hard part for me. Is like I remember growing up and it being Thursday and being like, oh, you watch Thursday night primetime television. Like it's like
right. It's like
I want to say it was like Survivor.
There are enough good Netflix shows. There are enough good HBO shows. There are enough good shows on Stars, Showtime. all these channels that are making like thoughtful, well-acted, well-produced, well-written television.
Netflix has also been putting out a bunch of awful
Correct,
television.
but like there's so many Netflix shows that like some of them are good. Like Lost in Space was
You
good.
gotta sift through.
House of Cards used to be good until we're not allowed to like Kevin Spacey anymore.
Daredevil both seasons was pretty good.
And people love the rest of the shows, the Marvel shows too, the Defenders and Jessica Jones, all that. Sure.
No, people do not love Iron Fist. People are very
Why
mad
I didn't
about
say Iron Fist. Oh, like people
People are
love
not
Orange is the
happy.
New Black, and I don't particularly. I haven't really watched it. I've seen a couple episodes. It's not my particular cup of tea, but I still think you're better served watching that than This Is Us or Timeless or like Once or I don't know, whatever it is people are upset about every single week.
Oh my gosh, like networks are where TV shows.
Because I have a
die.
bunch of people that I follow on Twitter that will just like live tweet every episode of their favorite TV show as it comes on week by week. Like I'm over The Walking Dead. First couple seasons were cool. They lost the plot on that one, but the first couple seasons were really cool. I don't know. Just go watch Mad Men or something.
Man, Don Draper, what a character.
I just started watching Westworld. That show's awesome.
People like that one. Yeah, people are into
Yeah, it's
that
an HBO show.
I feel like
HBO
I've gotta,
takes
for that
a
one,
lot of time and energy and makes good television.
For that one, I feel like I've got to sit down and really pay attention. People talk about Black Mirror a lot too. I feel like I'm supposed to watch that one.
Black Mirror's cool. It doesn't have a plot. It's just a bunch of disconnected events, which doesn't make me want to just like watch the next one. Is the only problem I have with it.
Right.
There's a lot of great BBC shows, however you feel about Anglophiles. There's a lot of really good BBC shows. Like Sherlock is a really good show.
I do like Sherlock. I like Sherlock. I like Doctor Who for a while. Although I haven't seen anything since Capaldi took over because Matt Smith just went down.
There's a great show with Capaldi was good. Capaldi's first season was good. There's a great show with Daniel Radcliffe and John Hamm called like The Young Doctor's Notebook.
That sounds really good.
It's like between the two of them. John Hamm's been in a lot of stuff recently, or coming up with a lot of stuff recently that's going to be good. He's playing the Angel Gabriel in the adaptation of Neil Gaiman's Good Omens. The American Gods TV show was something. It may never come back. That'll make me sad. It was pretty good. It was also very, very, very confusing. And I've read the book 7 times.
I've never read the book, but I do have it on my Audible.
You should listen to it. It's very, very good.
It's like 20 hours long.
And
it's a long
you
time.
Drive a lot.
I do drive a lot, but it'll take me like 3 days.
What?
Yeah, that would take like 3 days.
Of driving?
I mean, the rate at which I listen to books at work, yeah.
Okay, it takes me like 2 weeks.
Yeah, maybe a little longer than 3 days. Maybe like
Either way, that's perfectly acceptable.
It's true.
That's your homework.
I'm going to see Solo for my homework.
No,
that's
your homework is to listen to American Gods.
Is that what we're canceling next week's show?
No, we're not canceling next week's show. It's something you can add into your daily life. That's the whole point of we make this podcast. It's entertainment for your morning commute. Do you not remember the point? Do you not remember the first episode?
I do remember the point. I do. So we had a review on the first episode just yesterday. Somebody messaged us and said they really enjoyed it, and we made them laugh in the first 2 minutes. And I was like, "Oh my god, that's amazing!" Because I didn't.
He also kept a running dialogue of it and kept telling me things that I said that I do not remember saying because
I don't remember anything.
That was a different person. I've moved on from my past mistakes. That man is dead, and I do not know him anymore. It's been so long, and we've made so many of these episodes now that I have absolutely no idea what we talked about.
I don't know what we talked about last week. Yeah, no, it's gone now.
It took me a second to even remember what movie we talked about. Yeah, no, I know now. Just listen to American Gods. That is, I'm asking you, as your best friend, as your co-host. If you want to assign me something, go for it. But I really want you to listen to that book.
You can put in the he built this in a cave with a box of scraps soundbite right here.
Right here?
Right here. I'll allow it.
Okay.
I have to listen to American Gods. That sounds like a lot of work.
It's not a lot of work. You already sit in a car for most of your day and listen to stuff. I know, because you listen to podcasts. Temporarily replace your podcasts with a book for like
I'm going to get
4
behind
days.
on Ear Biscuits. I'm going to get behind on show and
I bet you can
Cinemaholics.
finish American Gods before more than one Ear Biscuit comes out.
It's 2 weeks. Well, today's Tuesday. The cleaning lady.
She comes on Monday.
She comes on Monday and she has the weekend
So
off.
an Ear Biscuit will come out May 28th, probably. I think
they are not stopping Ear Biscuits.
And an Ear Biscuit will come out June 4th. I would bet that you'd be done with it before the June 4th Ear Biscuit.
Interesting. Probably, because I have to drive a lot this weekend. I'm going to a wedding.
I wouldn't recommend dumping Emily in the middle of American Gods.
No, you don't think so? Maybe we'll start it together. Maybe I'll start it on Friday.
Maybe. That's your homework.
You have to watch season 2 of Arrow.
No.
22 episodes.
That's not even comparable.
It's exactly the same.
No, it's not. I haven't even seen all of season 1.
You'll be fine. It does a little previously on Arrow.
I'm not watching season 2 of Arrow. You can assign me something similar to what I assigned you.
That is similar. It's like 20 hours of your life.
Yeah, but I can't do that while I'm driving to work.
You can do it at work.
No, I can't. I don't have an extra 20 hours to sit around watching bad TV.
It's not bad TV. You can change your mind.
I've seen season 1.
Exactly. So boom, you're ready to go. Season 2 is the next logical step.
No, giving up was the next logical step.
Tommy died, man. Tommy's
I don't
dead.
care about Tommy or Oliver.
I like cry every
Or
time
the
I
girl.
think about it. Oh, Laurel? I don't care about Laurel at all.
Laurel's a great name.
That's Laurel, I said, by the way. Not Yanny. You're saying Yanny.
I said Laurel.
Yeah, Yanny.
Don't start this.
You know, I actually, when that started, I was like, I don't want this to trend. I don't want this to go anywhere because now we're always going to come back to it. And I don't think it's interesting or funny. Some people hear one thing
It's
and
like-
other people hear the other.
No, but the thing is like this is different than the dress thing.
Because the dress is black and blue.
Right, but a lot of people saw white and gold, whatever. It's a black and blue dress that was filtered weird to the point where people couldn't see it properly. It was so immediately painfully obvious to me what was going on with the Laurel versus Yanny thing that it made me physically upset when people got mad about it. It's like it's so
because it was
stupid.
just
If you
both
can't
words.
see, if you can't hear how both words come across, you're not thinking about it. You're just retweeting and getting mad. Like I clearly heard both, and it's so obvious what's happening.
It's crazy. You talk about that. When I was in 3rd grade, I was tested for ADHD, and you're supposed. I think I've talked about this before, maybe on the pod. I don't know. But you're supposed to click a mouse every time it said the word 1, and press the space bar every time it said the word 2. I remember that being the test. I don't know why, but it's like the bowl thing from How I Met Your Mother, where like 10 minutes into the test, it didn't sound like 1. It was like uanu, uanu.
Yeah, you start listening to the same word over and over again, and it stops sounding like a word.
Right. Do, uanu.
That seems like a ridiculous test.
Is that still how they test it? I don't know. If you've recently gotten tested for ADHD, mine came back positive.
If you or a loved one suffers
So
from
if you-
mesothelioma, you may be entitled to financial compensation.
But if you or a loved one copes with ADHD and you have questions about it, then like I'll talk to you about it. But mostly I'll talk to you about it. Whatever. Shoot me a DM.
I don't have ADHD. No, I also got the test because they thought I did.
Yeah.
I'm bad at like looking at things while.
Did you take the same test?
No. I don't remember what I did. I was like very young.
Oh, okay.
It was like I don't know. I don't know if they tested me for ADHD. I think they thought I was like learning disabled, like special, like properly special ed, because I didn't look at the teacher while she was talking, and then I just got all the questions right. I don't know. It was like kindergarten. It was a big deal that I like didn't look at the teacher while she was talking, and I would just
frustrate the
listen,
teacher?
and they thought I was like an idiot.
Weird. The 90s were a strange
so
time.
like I remember that, and I remember being very frustrated with that when my parents explained what was going on, and still to this day, like I don't really need to look at something to comprehend it.
I have to watch a movie. If I'm not watching, I'm not hearing.
I'm hearing whether or not I'm watching.
Yeah, no, if I'm not looking at the movie, there's no chance I have any idea what's going on. Like, if it's a movie I've seen before, I'm quoting it along and picturing it in my head. But if it's like a first watch through, I need to be watching it.
I mean, if it's the first watch through, I'll still watch the movie, but like I will get distracted visually from the movie. Like if I'm sitting in my living room watching a movie for the first time, it's like I'll pick up my phone and look at it and start doing something, and like I'm still paying attention, and I'll get back to the movie eventually. I don't know. I just get distracted that way, but I still know what's happening. Like I still pay attention. As long as somebody's talking to me, I can pay attention. We are so far off Deadpool.
Yeah, I mean, it just wasn't good.
That was the tangent to end all tangents.
We just went. Sometimes you got to go down a rabbit hole in a podcast.
I think that was a rabbit trail. Is what Rhett and Link would refer to that as.
That was something else entirely. Is what that was.
Let's bring it back to Deadpool. I don't have anything else to say about Deadpool.
I mean, let's
I'm saying let's wrap it up.
do some final thoughts. Yeah. I don't have any final thoughts. I know the movie was not good. I'm not about it. I will take a hard stance to put it down low.
To squash any critics of the show, the reason it sucked is because A, the characters were terrible and underdeveloped. B, it had no story. C, the jokes weren't funny. D, it was based on an awful character who never should have gotten a movie to begin with.
And E, if you liked the character and you thought he should have gotten a movie, then back to C, the jokes weren't funny because they weren't written as well done, like as good jokes. Like there are rules to comedy, and it broke those rules.
You can go to comedy writing school.
Yeah, and like I get it. Weapon X was a bad character in a bad movie, but we already had a movie that made fun of that.
Let it go, Wade.
Let it go. I get it. Logan was good. Let it go. I get it. You competed with Passion of the Christ. You don't need to call yourself God every 10 minutes. Anyway, let's give it a villain ranking.
There isn't one.
There isn't one. Okay.
The villain is Russell's motive.
On to the next thing. Yeah, on to the next thing.
Series ranking, I guess. We haven't done the rest of the series, so screw that. We just got to do it as a movie.
Yeah,
Let me
no,
get the
we don't
movie
have
list
that.
pulled up.
I was just going to get the Patreon. You can get our full movie list at patreon.com/baconandeggs. This is available for anybody to see. Free for everyone.
I believe it needs updating.
You do?
I think so.
Well, last week's movie...
I don't think it has last week's movie on it. I don't think it has the weeks before that's movie on it either.
You have one job.
I have a lot more jobs than you to do.
It will not be. It doesn't. Avengers: Infinity War is the last thing on it.
So I did not do.
But it doesn't matter because
I did not do Scott Pilgrim.
I think it's better than Guardians Volume 2.
No, I don't. The jokes in Guardians Volume 2 are funnier.
Yeah, and Ego was an interesting character.
I don't even know if it's better than Dark World. I think I would actually rather rewatch Dark World.
I actually was thinking about that recently. I was like, I really love Thor now. So I'm kind of interested in revisiting Dark World because I think Dark World is like a good and complex movie, but nobody cared about Thor.
Right.
Was the problem.
Dark World had a villain. Dark World has Loki.
Malekith and Loki and Thor and the Warriors 3.
Darcy's funnier than any character in Deadpool 2.
Brutal. Was it better than Ed Norton? Yeah, it was.
There's still a big gap there. I don't know. Where do you? I'm not putting it above Guardians 2.
Yeah, that's to me. From the bottom up, just for the listener's perspective, if they're not looking right at it as we are, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace is the worst movie we've ever reviewed. Above that, The Incredible Hulk 2008. Above that, Thor The Dark World 2013. And above that, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, 2017.
Guardians Volume 2 feels like it came out a long time ago.
Yeah, 2017 sounds... That hit like... I was almost... Because I was thinking about it yesterday. I was like, Phase 3 has been really, really good for Marvel. Yeah, all of them have been good. Guardians 2, was that Phase 3? No, I think that was older.
And it came out after Spider-Man is the thing.
Is.
Spider-Man feels more recent than Guardians 2.
Yeah,
which is crazy because you and I saw Spider-Man together, and then you left and moved away. And then Guardians 2 came out, and you saw Guardians 2 without me and texted me about it, but it still feels older.
We have Spider-Man Homecoming down low.
No, we don't. And you forced it there. Yeah. So
yeah, right below Iron Man.
It belongs above Black Panther.
We'll have to... I wouldn't mind revisiting Black Panther. When we do these new movies, sometimes you've got to revisit them after the initial hype fades a little bit. So I'd be okay with revisiting the Black Panther. But I have to watch
same. It. But I still think Spider-Man Homecoming's better.
Spider-Man Homecoming's so good.
Anyway, are we putting it above or below Dark World?
I mean, like, let's take a hard stance here. Let's really pound the point home that this was a forgettable movie. Not as good as
Thor the Dark World. That makes it the new 32.
Worst Marvel movie we've ever... No.
Second worst Marvel movie. Makes it the new 32 out of 34. Or 30. Makes it the new 32 out of 30.
Because that would make 4.
No, because this would be 35. There's 2 movies we haven't put on here. So the new 33 out of 35.
Yep. There it is. Because, as you all may remember, number 1 is Star Wars Episode 7.
And Scott Pilgrim vs. the World was somewhere.
It was in the... Actually, I have no idea where it is.
We'll have to revisit.
We'll have to revisit. I could because now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, what was it? I think it was in the Guardians of the Galaxy range.
I don't think so. That's pretty high. You might be right though. I think you are right.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'll figure it out and put it in there. All right, breakfast food. This movie is Burnt Toast.
That's exactly what it is.
It's like the bad sequel to Toast, which was pretty bland to begin with.
Yeah,
it's Burnt Toast. I don't even. What did we say about the Incredible Hulk? What breakfast was the Incredible Hulk? I have no idea. I know that Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, was Dr. Kendall's pancakes.
Just openly honest about how her father cannot make pancakes. Thank you, Julia, the director of Bacon and Egg, producer.
All right, cool. So Burnt Toast for Deadpool 2. I guess we sign off now.
Adios. Have you seen... Oh, I've got a good sign off.
Okay, we still have to sign off.
Have you seen Sicario or the previews? That looks sweet.
What? Sicario? A new one?
Yeah.
Why?
It looks sweet. Josh Brolin, Benicio del Toro.
Why? Oh, it looks stop!
I didn't know there was a
Stop making remakes!
Is it a
remake?
remake?
I guess so. Maybe it's a sequel? Stop making 20-something year later sequels!
Sicario came out in 2015.
Sicario came out in 1995.
Yeah, and then 2015.
What is 2015? I've never seen this.
Emily
I've never
Blunt,
even heard of
Josh
it.
Brolin.
Didn't know they made that. Maybe it's not a remake.
Benicio del Toro.
Benicio del Toro and Josh Brolin. They do that a lot.
What, work together? Is there another example of them working together?
Yeah, No Country for Old Men. Oh my god, and Emily Blunt in this freaking picture for Sicario is wearing the dress. The dress.
Oh. It's not the dress.
It's pretty close. No Country for Old Men. They've been in a bunch of stuff together. They were in Infinity War together.
That's true.
No Country for Old Men was Javier Bardem, not Benicio del Toro. I mix those guys up.
Josh Brolin is just knocking it out of the park with these freaking
quasi-villain roles. All right, well, I don't know what Sicario 2015 is, but if it's the same as Sicario 1995, stop.
I don't know. Looks good.
Sicario
Preview
Day of
looks
the
sweet.
Soldado.
Anyway, my name's Tyler Carlin, and if you want to find me on social media, the links are in the doobly-doo. My Twitter and Instagram are both at @AmeriCarlin. His name, Ethan Edgehill. His links for his social media are in the doobly-doo. That's at WowNow. The O's are zeros. Our podcast is on Twitter. Link, again, in the doobly-doo at Baconandeggs23. That was the only lost number that was still available. Sorry. Our show is hosted on Podbean. That's not information you need to know. Our artwork is by Vashaun Brandon. We will never thank our moderators in the Discord server enough. Looking at you, Ines, and Dragons. What else?
I have no idea. You're coming up with all kinds of new stuff here that we don't normally say. Our show is hosted on Podbean? As if you don't visit podbean.com 45 times a day.
We're very close to
Actually, you don't
downloads,
visit Podbean all the time. You text me and say, how are the downloads doing? Which is possibly one less step than it would be for you to just check the downloads. And more steps
I do that.
for me.
I figure you have it open at your office all day. That's the only reason I do that.
You texted me while I was still in bed on Saturday.
It was funny as I did that, and then I checked the download, and then you responded like 2 hours later with information I already knew.
Oh, man. I crack me up. I crack us up. We crack me up, is what I'm trying to say.
You'll notice the numbers on our podcast are officially gone. We no longer episodize our
Should I
movies.
go
Next
back
week,
and
we're going to be
delete
talking
the number?
about... Yeah, you should do that. You can listen to us next week. We're going to be talking about Solo, a Star Wars story featuring... I can't think of that guy's name.
Alden
He's not going to be
Ehrenreich.
a guest in the Solo episode. Alden Ehrenreich.
Hobie Doyle.
But we're going to be talking about Solo, and that's going to be a Solo episode as well. You're
is?
stuck with Ethan and I. But the following week, that was my plan.
It's a Star Wars movie, though. We do guests for Star Wars.
It's like Attack of the Clones, basically.
We'll figure it out.
The following week, we're going to be talking
get the camera back
about Fantastic Beasts and where to find them. And we will be joined by none other than Tessa Netting of Bunked fame and Fantastic Geeks and Where to Find Them and the Billy Elliot musical and all sorts of fun stuff. Super excited to have her on the show. I have no idea what else we say during this.
I'm just letting you roll, man. You're on a roll. This has been a fun episode to record. I don't know how it's going to come out, but this has been a fun one to record. I've enjoyed myself. We spoke very passionately about a lot of things.
It's true. We did. And I'm a big believer in passion.
Now there's the passion.
Of the Christ.
Thanks for listening to us talk about Deadpool 2. Thanks for listening to us rip Deadpool 2 apart.
Yeah. Baby Leg's joke was funny in Rick and Morty. Wasn't funny.
It wasn't funny in
That's
Rick and
my
Morty
last-
either.
At least in Rick and Morty, it was like
Again,
improvised
I don't
and
have.
silly.
I'm not good at letting people enjoy bad TV.
Rick and Morty is
not,
excellent
though.
television.
Oh,
It is so
not
freaking
funny.
good. It is the most funny cartoon
cartoons
ever.
suck.
Oh my gosh. You got to work on this, Ethan. This is your homework for the week. Stop being so mean to people about liking things that are actually good.
It's just TV shows.
Exactly. Be nicer to people about TV shows.
I normally am. I judge them silently.
No, you gotta internally. I want you to fix.
Fine.
This
Will you
problem.
listen to American Gods the book?
If I do, will you be cool about this and then not just pretend to be cool about it, but actually in your heart know that that is bringing someone joy? And you know what? That's a good thing. And maybe you could participate in that one day.
And participate in what?
Maybe you could smile. Network television.
No, I'm not going to defend network television. I'll get behind Rick and Morty, but I'm not defending network television.
Oh dear. Got a ways to go. Got a
No,
lot
I
to
don't. I am correct, and the whole world is wrong. A memoir by me.
learn. Right. I've definitely thought that before, but not about the network television problem. Anyway, I'm ready to sign off.
I've just been letting you roll, man. All
got
right, you're
nothing.
out. All right, he's out. I'm out. I've been Ethan Edgehill. He's been Tyler Carlin. Thank you for listening to another great episode of Bacon and Eggs. And until next week, arrivederci.
Ask for what you want.